People in here, they've been inside from the start. They haven't had to survive. And they just don't get it. They can't.
The very thing that makes you different is what makes you special.
Now I'm all warm and fuzzy inside.
To fight for this city. To be the symbol of hope that the arrow never was. I am the Green Arrow.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 38 of the Fandom Zone. I'm Karen, and as always, I'm joined by the lovely and talented Charles. Hi, Charles.
Oh, you flatterer, you. Hi, Karen. How are you?
He showed me his Lucifer comic book, of which I also have a run.
Yes. Well, this is the new Lucifer, number 1.
Is it really? Oh, the new Lucifer.
It just came out Wednesday.
Lovely.
Yes, and it's a great comic too, because it kind of picks up where things kind of left off. It continues the series after all these years.
He doesn't like him very much, does he?
No, not Dream. Not Dream.
Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dream, and he had a bit of a run-in a few years.
Morpheus.
That's right. I had my Morpheus action figure thingy here. And as the Green Arrow was chatting, even though I don't have a hooded shirt on,
right?
Pulled my shirt up as if I did have a hood on.
You look like Kenny from South Park.
No, well, thank you. So if you heard any kind of snickering in the background, that was Charles snickering at me trying to make a hood out of my shirt.
Because we're all 12-year-olds.
That's right. We are 12-year-olds. We try to make each other crack up. We're like Tim Conway and
Harvey Korman
yes. From the Girlfriend Show. And if you're not old enough to know about which
there's
most
a timely reference.
That's right. Go look it up on YouTube or something. And yeah. So anyway, episode 38 of the Fandom Zone, and we're running light today, so we might actually get into some detail with these episodes.
Crazy.
We'll be discussing Supergirl, episode 8 of season 1 called Hostile Takeover. And Jessica Jones, episode 4 of season 1, aka 99 Friends. I got 99 friends, and
you made that joke right before me.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of when I see that. So
I got 99 friends, and Jessica ain't one.
Right, exactly. Although I hope she'd be on my side.
Yeah, or at least, and Kilgrave ain't one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wow, all I can say is if you're not on her side, and there was a bit of an argument about what side things go on.
Right.
With Hogarth.
Right.
This episode, she's very strict on what line there is there, where you cross it.
Pretty much.
I would like to know where that line is drawn.
I think Hogarth draws the lines where she wants.
Yes. And Jessica...
wherever it's convenient for her.
Right.
Yeah.
Jessica knows what's right and what's wrong, though. That's the one thing I have to say about her, is she may not have a gray area. Although she tends to stay in a gray area, she just doesn't have one. You're either bad or you're good in her book.
Right.
So, and speaking of which, why don't we start with Jessica Jones?
Yeah, since we're talking about it already, we might as well.
Episode 4, aka 99 Friends, directed by David Petrarca, as has been Game of Thrones and True Blood.
Right.
Written by Hilly Hicks Jr., whose father is Hilly Hicks, an actor.
That can't be a real name.
It is actually a real name. His father's name is Hilly Hicks. He is Hilly Hicks Jr.
Thanks, Dad, for naming me Hilly.
I know, right?
Thanks a lot.
who has written for Chicago Fire, Army Wives, and The Big C. And he is actually like one of the creators on some of those shows as well.
Hilly?
I know, right?
Oh, Hilly?
But he co-created The Big C.
Maybe it's short for Hillary.
No.
I don't know.
It's just Hilly.
Okay.
I think it's Hilly.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate on that.
Okay. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not.
All right.
Oh, excuse me. So what did you give this episode? Are we doing that? We don't do that first, right?
No, we don't. Unless you want to do it right out of the gate. And,
I do it first on the other.
Totally mess with us after 38 episodes.
Oh, sorry. I did my Supergirl podcast this morning, and we give our ratings first.
Oh. So you're confusing podcasts, are you?
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Bad Karen. That's a bad Karen.
It's a bad host. Okay. So don't give me your spoiler ratings.
All right, because I could.
No, let's talk about the episode.
All right,
first.
let's talk about the episode.
I want to talk about one particular thing first.
All right.
Before we get into anything. We were talking about where she draws this line between black and white. And the argument she has outside the door of the people that have been mind controlled.
Now, she being Jessica or she being Hogarth?
Jessica and Hogarth.
Okay.
And I'm talking in particular about Jessica.
Right.
And she says, so what side are you talking about? And she gets more and more worked up until she smashes the door. Now, it's only been one episode since a door has been broken.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a broken door in every episode?
I know. This poor door.
And there seems to be...
But she does smash the glass, yeah, so...
Is there going to be something to do with the door in every episode? Because
no.
Malcolm's door, he couldn't get into his apartment either. He had trouble opening his door. So is there some subtle thing about doors in every episode? I
don't think so. If there's a door metaphor going on, I didn't catch it.
Okay, because it was a big deal about her door being fixed or not.
Right.
And then she smashes that door, and in the same episode, Malcolm has issues getting into his apartment, and she has to come and open it for him.
Well, it does become an issue later on. Let's just say that.
Okay. So, yeah, because he's always hanging around in the hallway.
Right.
It's like he can't get into his apartment ever.
Well, we kind of find out why at the end of the episode.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's part of it.
Yes.
That's why he is hanging around all the time.
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring that up that, I'm going to keep my eye out. You've already watched the whole...
I have. I finished it the last week, so yeah. No spoilers, though.
Right.
Those who are doing the one episode a week thing.
Right. So from now on, I'm going to watch and see if there's any door metaphor things, door action. It would only be front door action. Back doors and exit only, as far as I'm concerned.
But behind this door, the fandom zone.
Yeah. Okay. So in this episode, she's trying to track down Kilgrave.
Yes.
And she is very suspicious about any client that comes to her because of what happened with Holly.
Very paranoid.
Holly? Is it Holly?
You mean
the chick?
No, that was Hope.
Hope, sorry.
That's okay.
Because of what happened with Hope.
Yes.
So anyone that is referred to her by a lawyer, she's suspicious of them because she thinks that maybe Kilgrave sent them.
Yes.
So now she's super paranoid about this woman that is sent to her to track down her cheating husband and take pictures.
Audrey,
yes. And she's right to be paranoid in this case.
I think so.
But not for the reasons.
I think she's right to be paranoid, but she takes it a little bit too far.
A little bit. Although...
Again, justified.
There are reasons.
Yes.
For her paranoia as well, that there is something hinky going on
when
as
you have
well.
A mind-controlling stalker, I think all bets are off, I guess.
Yeah. And also, it's proven that this woman is not who she seems to be
Yes.
either. So,
That kind of feeds Jessica's natural cynicism anyway.
right. So is this going to get worse because this woman also is someone that she couldn't trust?
Maybe.
Right. So this woman comes to her. My husband's cheating on me. She lays out this big story. It's another woman. It's not a woman. It's another lawyer from Hogarth's firm, another partner. And Hogarth vouches for him and says, yeah, he's a partner, so I trust him. But it just so happens it's not one of the main guys. So this woman has definitely gone on the down low, but kind of in that middle area where, okay, you can't really verify everything, but it's someone that you could trust.
Right.
So she's covered all her bases. And I'm going to cut to the chase with that storyline in that she was sent by the guy who she served the warrant to.
Right.
Because he figured out that she was a superhuman like the Avengers, right?
Well, she wasn't sent by the guy. She
found out
about Jessica's superpowers because of that guy.
Right. And she's like one of the, I don't want these superpowered people around.
Yeah, she basically feels burned because her mom died in what they refer to in this episode as the incident.
Right.
Which we all know as the first Avengers movie.
Right. So in that rampage through New York, which I'm actually glad they're keeping that as something that damaged the city.
Yeah, because there was like a lot of destruction and a lot of people that were probably killed in that.
Right.
So yeah.
So I mean that's nice that they actually don't just brush that off as, hey, we're superheroes, we're saving lives, and no one got hurt, and yay, superheroes.
Yeah. But the problem with Audrey here is that she's painting every superhero with a big brush because of her mom's death.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, she's taking out all her rage on Jessica because Jessica just happens to be the most convenient target.
Right.
And
but she wants to do it to every superhero or whatever.
Even though Jessica had nothing to do with it.
No. She had nothing to do with it.
Audrey doesn't care.
No, she doesn't care. She just wants to kill every superhero.
Right.
And I like how Jessica Jones is all flip about, referring to the Captain America and
the flag waver, and then refers to the Hulk as the big green guy.
Right.
Although I kind of wonder why we can't just say Captain America and the Hulk.
I think we probably could.
Yeah, but
I think that's just how she would refer to them. She just doesn't care enough.
But they don't in this series. Throughout the whole series.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people wondered about that. It's like, well, is it because it's a Netflix series? Are they not allowed to refer to the major Marvel characters by name, by character name?
I would assume not, because
they kind of dodge around it deliberately.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You would think they would, because these are all named characters. Right. I mean, they use the words Kingpin, Daredevil, Luke Cage.
But again,
they
can use those because maybe they figure, well, as part of this Netflix deal, these characters, they can be in more adult situations, more PG-13 situations.
But we don't want to link them to the general public.
Yeah, But we don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to exactly the cash cow. Like the mainstream cash cows, like Thor and Iron Man and Captain America, and
even if they reference them, the kids shouldn't be seeing that anyway.
Right.
So that might be it.
It is a bit silly because anybody watching Jessica Jones, if you're a good parent, you're not letting your kids watch Jessica Jones.
No, please no. That's all I can say.
Right.
Although my parents probably would have let me watch it.
Yeah, well, it depends on how old your kid is too.
True.
Like a 14-year-old, okay.
Sure.
But if it's like a 6-year-old, I would say no.
Oh my God,
that would be a bad idea for a 6-year-old.
Bad idea.
So yeah, and maybe this is me being a prude here, but yeah, if you're letting your 6-year-old watch Jessica Jones, you need to rethink your parenting skills.
I think that it would be hard to argue with that statement.
I mean, maybe I'm going out on a limb here,
No.
but maybe a 6-year-old should not watch Jessica Jones.
No, let's turn to Supergirl if you're letting a 6-year-old watch Supergirl.
I know controversy, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're good
Okay.
on that
All
front.
right, I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know why they can't. I wish they would just tell us why they can't do things like that. Instead, they got to pussyfoot around it.
It's
and,
all probably corporate lawyer,
I
protecting
guess.
the brand,
Whatever.
yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to worry about it.
Corporate nonsense.
She referenced it. I know who she's talking about. You know who she's talking about.
Exactly.
I get it. She's talking about the Avengers. They're talking about the Avengers.
Right.
They're in New York City. That's definitely it. And I think they referenced it even obliquely as she did in order to separate it from the bus accident.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
So we know that it's not directly, the anger is not directed towards Jessica in particular. It's directed towards any kind of superhuman.
Yeah. Again, Jessica's the target. Just happens to be this first person that she's come across.
Right. And she only heard about it because she served that warrant. And when she did, she picked up the car.
Right. Exactly.
So
and her husband Audrey's husband is apparently like ready for a divorce after Jessica scares the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Which was a very funny scene. And
yes, I thought so.
And then she's got like 99 friends, hence the title of this episode.
Exactly.
And
she says, you better get out of town, change your names.
And if you don't, my 99 friends will be over to look for you and make sure you're out of town.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good, actually.
It was good.
Just.
Even though she should have gone like, you shot me, you a-hole.
Now, I'm wondering, here's something now that branches off from that topic that we were just discussing of the corporate synergy thing. We know that they're headed down the Civil War path with the movies and stuff. This almost feeds into that, though.
Yes.
With the people becoming paranoid about superheroes and
because they talk about like the Avengers might drop like a city on somebody or something.
Right.
But because referencing Sokovia.
Right.
But it's very weird.
So do you think they're given direction that maybe, hey, drop some hints here and there that
they could? I mean, I would love to see Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist in the upcoming Avengers Infinity War movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Or,
But
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Licensed to Netflix.
Exactly. So they might be off limits.
Did they not learn their lesson with Sony?
I know. Yeah.
Although
I keep hoping there will be a surprise and be like, oh, we don't think they're going to be in there. Oh, they're in there. Awesome. Yay. But
now they might have actually learned their lesson and made this deal with Netflix saying, well, we can't put them in movies right now because they're way too dark. Let's put them on Netflix. And we still have this open, conduit where we can use them in the movies still.
Right.
So you never know. I do know why they did it on Netflix because it is way too adult.
Yes.
For any other vehicle they're using right now. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the story except for the fact that it does kind of feed into the Civil War storyline, which if you're a Marvel fan, it's that people have started to distrust
the Avengers.
Yeah. And my husband and I were just discussing it the other day that it's mostly a line drawn between Iron Man and Captain America. And it's because Iron Man, if you get down to the nitty-gritty, it's because Captain America can't take off his suit. So he is the superhero. So if they had to turn themselves in, it would be him and
Captain America can take off his suit.
Yeah, but he's still the superhero underneath.
I know.
He would have to turn himself in.
Right.
And Tony Stark would just have to take off his suit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So essentially, that's their line that's drawn. Tony has no idea what it's like
to
be the commodity.
Tony is, like, he's kind of a bit of a control freak.
Right.
So,
A bit.
well, yeah. And so if, it's his way, so he kind of like buys into the whole superheroes need to be registered thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's the background of his father having sold the weapons and all that stuff
Right.
that kind of feeds into it as well.
yeah. And with the upcoming movie, they're going the route that Cap is trying to protect the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
but again,
his friend.
They are the weapons.
Yeah.
It's not a suit for them. If they have to register, they register themselves. They don't register a suit or a weapon or whatever. They are the weapon. So,
and everybody else is just like, okay, well, who do you like better, Iron Man or Captain America? Check one, and then you're on that team.
Right.
And then those two teams fight.
And then there's some switching of sides and so on and so forth. Yeah. So there's things like that.
I imagine Black Widow will be part of that. The switching of sides.
I assume so.
Yeah.
And I know that's a little off topic, but
yes.
It's still superheroes.
What is this bizarre segue?
No, I'm not going to play that right now because I think this is a good conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so anyway, it is related because this chick is doing that. It's pulling
referencing
crap on her. Yeah. So she and Audrey, that's her name, right? Audrey?
Yeah, Audrey Eastman. Yes.
Audrey Eastman is played by a woman who was on Person of Interest, and she also played the lesbian lover of Ross's wife on the first season of Friends.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you remember her? Did you watch Friends?
I did not watch Friends.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's interesting.
Okay, yeah. They broke up.
I'm like the one person that didn't watch Friends.
Okay, Ross and his wife broke up because she was a lesbian, and she was pregnant at the time with his child, and she got married to a woman,
right?
And had his baby, and
awkward,
right? And she was the woman who married his wife.
Interesting.
So that's her.
Interesting.
And I was like, oh, it's her again. Every time I see her, I think about her run on Friends. And she was on the show the whole time it was on, off and on.
Okay, like a recurring character.
Right, whenever she appeared. Yeah. So, it was interesting to see her. I wasn't expecting where this went because when she went into the bar and turned on the music and did her gun range.
Yeah, there was like this abandoned building or something, and then she just starts blasting away at these mannequin targets.
Right. Now, they were female targets. And Jessica said, well, maybe she's planning on shooting the cheating husband or whatever.
Right.
And I thought, well, no, they're female targets. They've got to be the chickie on the side, right?
Exactly.
No, not so much.
Yeah. And did Jessica kind of surprised me because it seemed like Jessica was buying into that too, that she wasn't immediately connecting. That maybe Audrey might be gunning for her.
Right. Or a female.
Right.
They were all female dummies, all of them.
Yes. It could have just been, well, though, to be fair, it could have been just like, well, that's all maybe she had.
Oh, the only kind of mannequin.
Like maybe she like got him from a woman's department.
She was a jewelry designer.
Right.
So she got them from her shop.
Yeah.
They saw her, looking into her shop, and she was like putting.
So maybe it's just like that was the first one she grabbed or something.
Okay. Still, it was a big red flag to me when she was shooting up female mannequins, and I was like, well, it's going to be the chick on the side that she goes for. It's not going to be her husband. So, yeah, but no, not so much. So it was a nice twist.
Yes. What a twist.
Yeah. And the fact that it had nothing to do with Kilgrave as well.
Yeah, interestingly. But again, this is only the 4th episode, so we gotta pad this out a little bit. Yeah.
And the other half of the episode did have a lot to do with Kilgrave.
Exactly. So it wasn't entirely a filler episode.
Right. So we'll talk about that now. And that is where she is trying to, at the same time, when she's dealing with Audrey and her issue, she is also trying to figure out how Kilgrave is getting these pictures of her.
Right.
And she is
For the creepy stalker room.
right. She is figuring that he is mind controlling people into following her.
Right.
And I'm guessing that she is thinking that it's all different people.
That's what I was thinking.
Is that okay? And so she is.
So she's not sure about any one person.
Right.
No, she's not suspicious about anyone in particular.
Right.
Until
later in the episode.
Until later in the episode when she gets a tip from the newly formed support group.
Right. Now, I love that he has come into this as part of their little group, even when what's her name? Trish,
yeah.
Even though Trish doesn't trust him yet.
Right.
And
that's a kind of a weird thing going on. And it gets weirder.
Well, Trish has a right to not trust him.
Right. Considering he tried to kill her.
Yeah, although
mind controlled by Kilgrave.
He was mind controlled, and she should understand how strong that is.
Yeah.
Having lived through it with Jessica.
Yeah.
But
no, he does try to he tries to make amends in this episode.
Right. That was a great,
because he gives her like this box, and Trish is understandably freaked out and very hesitant, understandably hesitant to open the door for the guy that just tried to strangle her not too long ago. So she gets him to leave the box in front of her door, and he goes to the other end of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
She brings the box inside. Now, what's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Yeah, 7. Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So she opens the box, which could have been anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a gutsy move there to open that. Turns out to be a gun for her to use. It's illegally registered. It's not registered, so it's
right.
So it's illegal to have this gun, but coming from a cop,
right?
Apparently, Simpson, wants Trish to be protected, feel safe. So he gives
especially
her
around him.
Yeah.
So if she shoots him with this gun, it can't be traced back to her.
Right.
Is what he's saying. And I'm giving you that power.
Mm-hmm.
So you can feel secure around me. And I thought that was very nice. And I liked that they had the conversation through the door.
Yeah, they kind of sit on the opposite sides of the door.
Back to back, yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice.
They tell embarrassing stories.
Yeah, I'm wondering where they're going with that. And I like him as an actor very much.
Will Trevell.
Yeah. The Sheriff of Nottingham from Once Upon a Time.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't see him as anything else yet.
Well, once you see him through this series,
yeah,
you will never picture him as anything else.
Okay, good.
I don't think.
I'm all right with that.
I'm not. Just keep an eye on him. That's all I'm saying.
I'm a little mad about my Once Upon a Time right now because
what?
No
cliffhanger ending.
No, they killed off Hook.
Good. He'll be back.
Yeah, they went to hell to save him.
They're not gonna get rid of him.
I hope not.
Yeah, too many people like you watch the show just for that guy.
I don't watch it just for that guy, but
pretty much, right?
Oh, my tongue is hanging out when
mostly for that guy. Yeah.
A lot for that guy.
Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Colin O'Donoghue is hot.
Okay.
So
you like the beardy guys.
The scruffy guys.
Scruffy guys. Okay.
What is this bizarre segue that's
Thank
happening?
you.
Yeah. That is definitely a segue. So I love those scenes between Trish and the cop. I thought he was great. And I like that he had Jessica's 6, quote unquote.
Yeah.
As said.
And I like Jessica's reaction. You got my 6. Ugh,
yeah, so trite.
Right.
But
gotta be kidding me.
He meant it sincerely. I mean, that's probably how he's used to saying it.
Well, it's very military.
Right.
Saying.
Right. So, I got your 6, and he just hung up, and she's like, ugh.
So it
whatever.
kind of reveals that he has a military background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he managed to get all this footage, and she wanted the camera footage around the city to see who was standing around her consistently when she was in the city.
Right.
And so he got that for her. And what she had been doing up till that point was taking the pictures from his stalker pad and comparing them to where she was standing in the pictures to see where they had been taken. And she couldn't really figure out any kind of pattern from that,
Right.
I'm guessing.
She's doing detective work. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
Crazy is that?
So she was hitting a brick wall with that. But when she was looking in on Audrey's business, she saw this, the surveillance box. And that's when she called the cop and she said, can you get into this footage?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, sure. And he got it for her, illegal as it is.
Yes.
He got it for her. And mostly because he likes that they saved.
Not a very ethical cop, is he?
No, but they saved him from killing this woman. And, he's grateful to them for that. And he also wants them to help him find Kilgrave and stop this guy because he doesn't want. He feels like his life is ticking down as well.
Yes.
So he either needs to stick with them or leave. And, he wants to stick with them. So that's my vibe, right?
That's a good vibe to have. But
okay.
But yeah, just keep it.
Don't say anything. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Okay. All right.
Is that a decent vibe to have at this point?
At this point, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Okay.
Now, see, you're spoiling things for me by saying it.
I said nothing.
Yeah, but you're all cagey about it. Damn you and your caginess. Yeah, cut it out. You don't have a beard. You can't stroke anything. He's pretending to stroke a beard, you guys, and he has enough.
I have scruff.
Yeah, whatever.
It's
Your face is like a baby's face.
5 o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock shadow. Okay.
Yeah, but
so they're trying to track him down, and when she finally does compile all the evidence from these cameras, there is one thing that shows up, and it is Malcolm.
But this is after she gets a tip from the support group, the Kilgrave support group. That there
about
was
the guy around.
There's a guy in a blue and white striped scarf.
Right.
And
finds that blue and white.
So that's what she's looking for, is the guy in the blue and white striped scarf in the video. Right. She goes through that, and then it's like, oh,
dun dun dun.
Malcolm, hello, Malcolm.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, it turns out that he's using Malcolm.
Yep, and she goes to his apartment, finds a photo of her on his printer.
Mm-hmm. And
not looking good. Dun dun dun.
No. And then she sees a picture of Malcolm with his grandmother.
Yeah.
And gets all choked up and doesn't know what to do. But I'm sure we're going to see what she does in next week's episode. And there's a passing reference to her near the beginning of the episode feeling good about keeping Luke out of things.
Right. She's trying to protect him.
Right. Just a very passing reference to it. So no Luke in this episode, but a little nod to the fact that she is keeping him away.
Right.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Did I miss anything?
Don't think so. No, not really. Nope.
No, and I really thought it was an interesting episode. It was definitely let's put a few pieces together. And the whole Audrey thing, I think it was interesting.
It's not.
You're gonna know.
It's not essential to the
me
plot.
Okay.
That's where you're going with that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it fit in with the whole big storyline or not.
The Malcolm thing is.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I knew that.
So yeah, it really the episode that doesn't really, for lack of a better word, it doesn't matter.
Right.
For the overall arc.
Right. At least the story of the week.
Yeah.
The case of the week.
Yeah. If you're going to skip an episode, this would be a good episode to skip.
Okay. Well, except for the big reveal that Malcolm is.
Exactly. So we'll just watch like the last 5 minutes and you're gold.
Right. Yeah. So, what did you give this episode?
Because of that, I thought it was a little, because it wasn't as essential, I gave it an 8 out of 10 target practice mannequins.
Very nice. And we are on the same wavelength. I gave it an 8 shattered doors.
Right. Just
8.
keep an eye on Officer Simpson.
I will do. Don't. And 8 it's a good rating, not stellar, but good.
Right. Yeah. Perfectly fine.
Solid.
Yeah, it's solid. This is a great series. It's just this isn't compared to other episodes, isn't as much of a wow factor.
Right. Yeah, it's well above a lot of other series.
Oh yeah.
But
and Ada on Jessica Jones is like a 10 on Supergirl.
hell yes.
So
I agree.
let's put it that way.
Yeah. Speaking of which, segue.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I do.
I just set that up for you.
Now we're going to talk about Supergirl, episode 8 of season 1, Hostile Takeover, directed by Karen Gaviola. She won an NAACP award for an episode of Lost.
Right.
She has also worked on The Blacklist and Grimm. Written by Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa,
Right.
who has worked on Glee, Big Love, and has written some Marvel comics and is one of the creative directors of Archie Comics at present. And Caitlin Parrish is his co-author, and she worked on Under the Dome.
No!
Really the only credit I could find for her, but hey, I watched that show.
Yeah, a lot of people watch that show, especially the third season.
If she wrote anything for Dean Norris, I'm all right with her.
Yeah.
So lots of good things happened in this episode, I have to say.
Yes.
I want to do something real quick.
Uh-oh.
No, it's okay. I just, how I'm doing this thing where I have...
Yeah, you're stalling is what you're doing.
No. Hold on a minute.
I need time. All right.
Okay, my little...
Do you want me to talk about the episode where you're doing
that?
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
A story is Hack Co.
Yeah.
B story is Auntie Mame and Mommy Dearest, and Mame is spelled M-A-I-M.
Right.
Not A-M-E.
Got it.
And the C story is Non, as in Non.
Right.
The husband of the aunt. Non-stop surprise attack. So those are my A stories, C stories, and B stories.
Nice.
So Hackco, and this is the main part of the story, and I had to hand wave quite a bit here.
Yeah.
The hacking on the computer is fine.
Right.
I have no doubts that Wynn could hack on the computer remotely.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Catco hacking.
Oh, no. Wynn hacking.
The Wynn hacking stuff.
Yeah.
To get, basically, he's trying to find information.
Right. The hacking elsewhere, I have no idea how they did that. So, that can be done any number of ways.
Yes.
The guy hiring someone.
Right.
So I can't hand wave or not hand wave that. That is something that happens all the time in the corporate world. So Wynn is hacking inside the building on the computer.
Yeah.
That can be done. Okay?
Right.
Any number of ways. If you're smart enough to do it, you can do it.
Right.
So they're trying to find out what he could find out, what the bigwig could find out on Cat, potentially.
Yes.
At first. Then they find out that it's him, and they go to hack his computer. Here's where the trouble comes in.
Yes.
First of all, there's a hacking chip.
Okay. Yeah.
No such thing.
Yes.
Okay. It's magnetic.
Right. Which would wreck any computer. Yes.
It would fry the computer. Okay.
Yeah.
He sends Jimmy over, the one who is not computer savvy.
Right. Yeah.
Again. He tells him to open up the back of the monitor.
Right.
Again with the buzzer. No,
Yes,
it's not.
you want the hard drive.
Right? It's not connected to the computer
Yes.
in any way that could transfer data at all to anything
Unless it
else.
had to be a proximity thing that picked up could pick
If
up.
it was a wireless thing, yes,
Yes.
but it wouldn't have to go inside the monitor. It could just be set anywhere on the desk.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yes. Yes.
that's my thing about that. If it was a wireless thing, then it could just be like tossed inside the room and he could run. Right?
Yes. Well,
Okay. So,
remember, these are the same, showrunners, whatnot, that also handle the Felicity Smoke School of Computer Hacking
I know.
on Arrow, where, okay, I just touch a couple keys and all of a sudden I'm hacked into something.
Oh, I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Look how fast I am.
Now, at the very least, they made Wynn's hacking very realistic, as in, it'll take me a while, but I'll get in.
Yes.
So that was good, I thought.
Right.
Come back later.
As opposed to Felicity, who does it instantaneously.
Right.
Yeah.
But this whole thing, and it was like, hey, let's give them a lot of detail so they can pick it apart.
Right.
And I was so angry at this because anybody who knows anything about computers, I mean, anything,
Yes.
because the thing was magnetic. Who doesn't know
Right.
that would fry a computer? I mean, that is one of the most basic things, but it won't stick on the computer. Well, no, because
this episode did take a little bit of a beating on Twitter about that.
Did it?
Yes.
About the
things like that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, this is the part of the story that really broke down for me. That part, the
Right.
technical part of it. The storyline I thought was okay, but here's the thing: is the writers thought they were too smart for their own good. Why put in all that detail? Why?
Yes. I know.
So that Jimmy could go across the street and screw things up? I mean, it wasn't
I think it was the
necessary.
idea that, okay, we need Wynn and Jimmy working together on something
Okay.
for a goal. So it was an excuse to get these two characters interacting.
Okay.
I'm approaching it from a writing standpoint.
Right.
That would be my guess.
Would you research how to do something like that, though? Right.
Karen, please.
So why didn't they do that?
Because
Is my question.
these are Hollywood writers
Okay.
as opposed to common sense writers.
Now,
I'm trying to be delicate about this, but
here's
write,
my issue with it, though. This guy is a comic book
right.
author.
Yes.
Does he not know who he's dealing with? He's
Well-
dealing with nerds.
Well, I read his Nightcrawler run.
Yeah.
It was not that good.
Okay.
So he's a comic book writer, but he's not a really good comic book writer, in my opinion.
Okay. He still needs to know he's dealing with nerds. And I say that with the nicest intentions. I'm a nerd.
I prefer the term geek. I think nerd's a little like, it's the N word for me, nerd.
Oh,
So
I like nerd.
yeah, but
Um,
I know a lot of people do. So I respect it if you do. It's not a term that I appreciate.
I like them both, nerd, geek, whatever.
Prefer geek.
But we're going to pick things apart. And not only that, but we're usually tech savvy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's losing on both fronts.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's just better not to go into detail if you don't know.
Unless
what you're thinking.
Caitlin Parrish was the one who wrote that scene.
Even still, you're both working together.
You would think.
I'm going to put equal blame on both of you.
I would say so.
So even if she wrote it, he had to look it over.
Yes.
So I'm going to give him that blame because he wrote for comic books.
Yes. Because he
This
should
is what I'm
should
saying.
know better.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't know anything
I
about
agree
her.
he should know better.
Right.
And so should she.
And that's the only reason I pick him out of that.
Yeah.
And say, he wrote comic books, so he should know. Anyway, I don't mean to go into all this nitpickiness, but the whole thing about that is
all they needed to do was just get something like something to plug into the computer, through a USB that routed something to Wynn's computer.
Right.
That's all
it.
they had to do.
Right.
And it would have been much more
that's
believable. And I just came up with that just now.
Right.
So it's
even if you can't fact check it, it's more believable.
It's not that hard, people.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Right.
and this
And
is
it still could have delayed him. It could have been like a program on the USB drive that deployed
yes.
when he plugged it in.
Yeah.
Because you can do that, a self-extracting program that
Right.
deploys when you plug it in, right?
Right.
So it could have been that. You have to plug it in and leave it plugged in
Right.
for
However long you need it. Right.
Right. And oh, you might get caught. Oh no. And that could have been the tension.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like, you're trying to distract the guy from noticing the thing's plugged into the USB port until you can, like, it's done doing what it needs to do. You grab it and sneak out.
Exactly right. This is what I'm saying.
This is why
It didn't have this incredibly far-fetched thing that has no basis in fact whatsoever. None.
And again, this is why I should be writing the comic book
I
shows.
agree with you. So
not to be too modest about it, but I think I could do a little better job than that.
you just did. That's what I'm saying. Is you just
I
did.
may not be the best writer in the world, but I think I could do better than that.
Dude, you just did. This is what I'm saying. So,
bro, this is what I'm saying.
Well, this is what I'm saying to you right now, is that you just did, right? Okay, so I like the storyline overall. That part got me hard.
Hey now.
I was like, ah! The good part was that it is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Relevant. It was relevant.
Easy for you to say.
Relevant to our times.
Yes.
That people are getting hacked all the time.
Well, it was a direct comparison to the Sony Pictures hack.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Where
Almost literally.
Getting the emails that exposed a lot of secrets and stuff that people didn't want to get out there.
Right.
And because she's a big communications company, it made sense to kind of parallel that.
Right.
So I'm sure that's where the concept for the storyline came from. But
right.
Execution-wise,
it's
been better.
And I liked how she is so secure in herself that she just kind of brushed all that embarrassing stuff off.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, whatever. I asked Idris Elba out and he turned me down. Big deal.
Yeah. But there is a big secret out of that.
Right. And the one thing that caused her to take a second look at things and to almost cave is her oldest son.
Right.
Now, mind you, we knew this was coming.
Adam Foster.
Right. Who is the son of Joe Foster in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And we know his fate in the comic books. I'm not going to give anything away here.
Right.
But he is
Toyman, just saying.
Right, quite intertwined with Wynn in the comic books. And if he is going to be competing for Supergirl's favors alongside of Wynn, that's going to be an interesting dynamic, I think.
Yeah. Now, one thing about this Adam Foster reference, they did mention that Adam Foster is in Opal City.
Yep.
And as a huge Starman fan, I geeked hard on this.
Me too.
Because Opal City, I'm like...
why are you ruining my stuff?
What?
Opal City gets a name drop in this episode as the home of Adam Grant. Adam Foster.
I told you I'm a big Starman fan. I got to talk about this. This is important to me because Jack Knight.
We've seen Opal referenced on Arrow and the Flash
Starman
as well. It's where Deathbolt was on the night of the particle accelerator explosion, and it's one of the DC Comics cities on the wall at Central City Picture News.
Right.
In the comics, it's where Jack Knight, Starman. Is headquarters, as well as the Shade. Periodically, other heroes would float in and out of the city, including Ralph Dibny, the Elongated Man, and his wife Sue. Opal, behind probably only Gotham and Metropolis, became a character unto itself in Starman during James Robinson's celebrated run on that title. Now,
fantastic
here's my
series.
question to you.
Check it out.
Now, you and I know that Ralph and Sue Dibny are huge in a couple storylines.
Right.
DC Universe.
Yeah, well, then there's a lot of, Shazam is part of in the Golden Age Sandman, and lots of great obscure. James Robinson loves obscure heroes, and
they seem to be taking a lot from James Robinson comics,
right,
to play in Supergirl, like the new world of Krypton and all that.
Yes, the World of Krypton storyline
Right.
with Superwoman, I think, is going to be factored in.
Yeah, I think so too.
Keep an eye on Lucy Lane. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It looks more and more there seems to be pieces.
But yeah, I'm like, any chance, any glimmer of hope to see live action Jack Knight. So I'm just like, Opal City, and I'm like, Supergirl writers on Twitter going, oh, please, I hope this means that there will be, like
Starman.
Hashtag Starman. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just,
I'm glad that you got excited. That's awesome. And I'm glad that I picked it out and put it in the document.
Jesse Jackson, our mutual friend, is also a big, huge Starman fan. So
really?
Yes. Didn't know that, did you? Yep.
No, didn't.
Yep. We're huge.
Awesome.
Yep. So make it happen.
I have some Starman comics.
Even if it's Legends of Tomorrow, make it happen.
That would be awesome. I would love to see the Dibneys at some point as well.
That would be great too. Okay. I would love to see that too.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ralph Dibny.
Me too. R.I.P. Sue.
Not anymore.
Is she back?
She's back.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Retcon.
Secret Six by Gail Simone.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's
awesome. Yeah. I'm okay with retcons if it's Gail Simone.
Yeah, so.
All right, so I like that storyline, like you said, and then it comes out that she has this older son. He's about their age, mid-20s, and I'm guessing, since we know he's coming on the show, that she's going to reconnect with him.
Yes.
From this, that she's going to realize that.
And it could also set up the Toyman, which we know they cast a Toyman Senior.
Mm-hmm.
So
a real Toyman.
Yes.
I don't think the one that we know is going to be the Toyman. Unless
his father dies and he takes over.
I don't know. Do you really think Win is going to be the Toyman?
Maybe. Eventually. Maybe not right away. If the show survives long enough, maybe.
Yeah. I guess. I have a feeling it's going to get a second season since we got picked up for the back end.
Right.
But I don't think they're headed in that direction with Win.
Well, not for a while. It wouldn't be for a while.
Yeah.
If it's like
so,
it would have to be something like around season 4 to happen, I'm guessing. But
yeah.
No, right away.
Yeah.
So for right now.
Right. So for right now, he's a good guy.
Yes.
He and James, don't call me Jimmy Olsen, have to work together. And James, for the first time, who is oblivious to everything apparently, sees that Win has been very jealous of his relationship with Kara and has this grudging respect for him, I think, because he has been doing all this stuff with both of them, having been firmly relegated to the friend zone.
Right.
Not even hoping he's going to get taken out of it. I think he's just realized I'm never coming out of the friend zone at this point.
You're talking about Win.
Win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And James sees this and he says, dude, you don't have an enemy in me.
Which I thought was a good thing to clear the air.
Yeah, I think so too.
So,
but I don't think he knew about it until now.
Yeah.
So he cleared it up right away, which he's a stand-up guy.
Right. So it's like, yeah, okay, dude, like I didn't know how much you cared about Kara. I don't want to be in your way. So go. So my advice is for you to go for it.
To tell her, yeah.
To tell her, but
right. Yeah, but he also sees that Kara probably doesn't think of him that way.
No, because she's crushing on James.
She is equally oblivious to it. And Jimmy has this...
Now, do you get the feeling that Win's getting a little bitter over this?
Yes.
And that's why I think that maybe he could go down a dark side path. Because if he hates Supergirl because she wouldn't love him, that would be a good reason to go supervillain.
And with Adam coming on the show and him becoming another rival for her affections,
right?
He might be the target he sets.
I'm just saying.
Could be.
It could happen. We'll see.
Yeah, it could. It definitely could. I would hate to see it escalate like that, but
Yeah, but it would at least make Wynn's character more interesting to me.
sure.
Because right now he's just Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, I have no love for his character at this point. It's not that I just love his character so much that I would hate to see him go dark. It's just I don't see that turn in him right now. Right now I see him as kind of whiny and
Right.
like no capacity for evil.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
you didn't see the turn when Grant Ward flipped and went bad guy on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., did you?
No, I saw he was a bad guy. I just I didn't want him to be.
You're in denial over it.
Yes. I saw him as a bad guy.
He could be redeemed.
Yeah, I was in denial, definitely. I fully admit that was on me.
That's what I thought.
That was not on him.
Uh-huh.
Hey, when have I ever denied that it was on me?
That's true. At least you own it.
He's adorable. I have Hunter now, though.
Oh, have you switched?
Yeah,
Okay, now you're Team Hunter
Team Hunter,
as
all
opposed
the
to
way.
Team Ward.
He's got that accent.
Okay.
And then he imitates Bobby, which is hilarious.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, okay,
This
so...
is our segue.
Yeah, kind of. It's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So Jimmy and Wynn have that conversation. It kind of settles some things. They have a grudging respect for each other. I think it's going to ease some tensions between the two of them. But as you and I know, Adam's coming into the picture, and that's going to jumble everything up again.
So now the would-be love triangle is now a quadrangle.
Except I think James is going to be out of that.
Maybe, yeah, because he can maybe go into his own storyline with Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
At least
I think
temporarily.
I think it's him out of that.
And then eventually his orbit will come back in.
Right. He'll still be part of their group.
Right.
But he may not be a love interest per se.
So now, Wynn's going to be like bitter at
Hey,
Adam.
thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. You just get rid of one and you bring another one in, really? Really?
This is my life.
Right. Okay, and now we have Auntie Mame and Mommy Dearest. And we're learning some things here. Mm-hmm. Better fights in the air, I thought, this episode.
A little better, yeah, I think so.
Some of it is angles.
There was a great brawl across the city, which I thought was pretty good.
I think some of it is camera angles, and some of it was that there were buildings.
The debris helped.
Yeah, they're doing better camouflaging things.
And that's what they need to do. Is like, don't make it look so cheesy. You can play with that and improve it.
Right. And so I was very happy with that. Mm-hmm. And I did like the conversations that she had with her aunt. And I didn't pick up on the throwing of the fight at all. Did you? Although I don't know how to fight really. So.
Well, they made a comment of it where they had later on Jean Henshaw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I
just want to call him Jean now because he's Jean.
Okay, let's do. We'll call him Jean
instead of Henshaw because he's not Hank Henshaw. He's Jean Jones.
He's Jean.
So Jean and Alex are talking, and they're like, "Oh, you know, Astra threw that fight."
Right. I know they talked about it, but I didn't catch it the first time through.
Yeah. I think that's because you know, like she went down pretty easily.
Right.
During her fight with Kara, she gets dragged to the DEO cell, and then she lays this big story on this big guilt story on Kara. Like, oh, your mom, she screwed me over. She lied. She's, you know, she had me and my husband. I had all like these murder charges, and I was just trying to save Krypton.
Right.
So I don't know why she's harassing me.
What percentage of that is true?
Exactly. I'm sure none of it. It's a warped perception. Maybe
I think it's a warped perception.
Maybe true in her mind.
Well, we do know from the comics that there were the sect of people that knew about the planet's imminent demise,
they believed it, yeah.
Right, and did bad things to try and get attention.
Right.
And there were other people whose heads were buried in the sand over it. And
the council, yeah.
Right. And so there was a lot of we imprisoned some people that maybe we should have listened to.
Yeah. There's a really great novel by Kevin J. Anderson called The Last Days of Krypton.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you really want to know about this whole this kind of conflict going on where you had the elders of Krypton being in total denial, and you had people saying, well, it's not looking good. We need to do something.
Right.
And especially with Jor-El.
And them being completely powerless about it.
I would definitely track down this novel because it's actually really good. I like that a lot.
So imagine Astra and her group, they would become terrorists in order to get attention. So yes, they did stuff that would get them banished forever, but they were trying to save people. So in her mind, they were doing a good thing,
right?
But they actually did do horrible things. So yes, it's probably a warped perception, but
from a certain point of view.
Exactly. And the one thing that makes me tilt my head is that when Kara goes into her little
hologram chamber,
of solitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hologram.
The hologram area.
Holodeck of solitude.
Holodeck of solitude. Yeah, we ought to call it that.
Let's call it that.
I like that.
The holodeck of solitude.
That's a good term. I approve.
And she talks to her mother.
The holodeck of solitude. That's cool.
Her mother selectively tells her things. So that the hologram of her mother.
Well, she's like, I'm not allowed to reveal that information.
Exactly. So why has she been?
What's she keeping from her?
Right.
And well,
this is one thing.
Now there could be another reason that we don't know, but the whole withholding thing just feeds the doubt.
It looks hinky,
and that, of course, is what Astra is going to exploit.
Right.
So, like, yes, see the hologram's lying to you. And it's already working because Kara is getting pissed off and tries to burn the hologram with her heat vision, which I'm like, it's a hologram, Kara. It's
Kara.
Not gonna. And Alex is like, just be cool, just calm down.
She's just taking out frustration.
I know, but still, I thought it was just like, it's not.
If I had laser vision, I'd be using it all over the place.
Let's just be glad you don't.
If I was driving on the freeway and someone was pissing me off, I would very, very discreetly burn holes in their tires.
I do not think the Justice League would approve of that.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, well.
You would, though, right?
Maybe.
See?
But I'm in that anti-hero. Yes.
So anyway.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
I'm glad I got to play that.
Yeah, I was hoping you would.
Yeah. Okay, so there's them playing together. And by the way, she had that little communicator device while they were down in the DEO.
Why?
And she was in containment.
Why did she still have the device on her?
Right. Did they not pat her down?
Yeah, apparently they didn't bother frisking the evil supervillain.
Or if they did.
Yeah.
Where did she have it?
I mean, she was supposedly unconscious. So, yeah, that's a good point. Where is she concealing? Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Does somebody get the rubber glove?
Snap! Yeah, orange is the new black. Orange is the new kryptonite. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so she's a distraction. And it makes me wonder how much of that is true and how much of it isn't. She obviously
got to be playing Kara.
I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure she is, because that's how she's been the whole time she's been on Earth. But we do get those flashbacks of, and they're Kara's memories
Yeah.
of her being a loving aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, how much of that is true? She obviously loved her at one point. So, and she spared her life.
Right.
She could have killed her with the dagger.
But maybe she's just nuts.
Could be.
That's what I'm thinking. And,
Right.
well,
So
and the thing that made me wonder about that is Astra tells Kara at one point that Earth is facing a similar ecological destruction like Krypton.
right. Right.
So, and she's begging,
wants
she's begging Kara for help.
Fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So, either
Yeah, but their fixing
Yeah.
could be like Zod's fixing, which would be terraforming it for their inhabitation
yes,
of it. And that would mean bye-bye humans
right,
and hello kryptonite.
new
Oh,
Krypton.
Right. Which again, that's what seems to be the storyline that they're
hmm
using. So
Yep.
yeah.
Wanting to,
And again, the DEO. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned this on my other podcast today, but there was an article with the showrunners saying that they had intended to make Hank Cyborg Superman. And then there was an offhanded comment about how much he looked like John Jones.
mhm.
And there were big discussions happening, and then they actually flipped it so that they made him John Jones. So they were going to make him
Right, and then what?
the actual Hank Henshaw.
Yeah.
Like, well, duh. So now you got to write
So-
yourself out of this.
Well, I think they were probably surprised, like, wait, everybody online has already figured this out that he's Cyborg Superman. Like,
Well, duh, because you chose the name Hank Henshaw.
exactly. It's like,
Right.
did they not figure? Well, if nothing else, it's like there is this thing called the interwebs. Oh,
Right.
Hank Henshaw, Hank Henshaw, Supergirl. Look it up on the internet. And boom, there's the whole thing on Wikipedia that you could pull off, and
Yeah, but if you've read comic books and you've heard of Hank Henshaw, then
exactly.
he's Cyborg Superman, duh.
So I think my thing was that people figured it out. Obviously, they were posting about it online. So then they were like, "Oh crap, we got to make this into a surprise."
A surprise. Mhm.
That's my theory.
Yeah. Well, that definitely could be.
I have
And-
proof of that. I just
Either way, I'm happy with how it turned out. Like I said last week,
Yeah.
I like John.
we get the
very
Martian
much.
Manhunter. How cool is that?
Right.
No problem
I do.
there.
And as long as they can write their way out of it.
Yep.
And
And
make
apparently
it-
we're going to get the White Martians.
Yes, I'm very happy about that
That's
too.
cool. So,
So
yeah.
we'll find out how that works into. I do still want to know why he hasn't changed the DEO yet.
Yeah.
So
There needs to be we need to fill in some of the details.
we definitely do. They need to address that.
Yeah.
So at least we know why they haven't done that.
Right.
Because they were going to make him Cyborg Superman.
Mhm.
So
And that makes
they
sense. And that
had
makes
to-
sense. But now that there is that revelation, which
They have
which
to fix-
again, that kind of feeds my theory that they just switched this, and like, oh no, everybody figured it out. We got to do something else.
Right.
So now, yes, they need that explanation about like, well, if you came to the DEO to change things, why haven't you changed?
Why haven't they changed? Right.
Apparently, you're really bad at this.
Right.
John.
Really bad. And the fact is, you're Martian Manhunter. You're not bad at
Yeah.
it.
And considering you have telepathy, and apparently it works on everybody but Kryptonians conveniently.
Right.
That's something they kind of reveal in this episode that
Yeah.
it doesn't work on Kryptonians. So I'm sure that will
Yeah.
pay off.
Which Superman loves.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I dug. That was a
But
funny little-
everybody else, you should be like, okay, everything's exactly the way I want this.
Plus, he can shift forms, so he could look like someone else to go and get authorization for something, or
Unless there's the whole ethics that Bob.
well, sure, there's ethics, but he needs to change it for ethics,
Yeah.
right?
If
I mean,
if
isn't it
he's
great
concerned
for it?
about it, yes,
Right.
he should.
Yeah.
But-
So yeah, again,
Shaky. It's dubious reasoning at best.
right. So they need to fix that. It's not as bad as the stupid hacking
Yep.
from this episode. but
Supergirl writers, call me.
Get On it.
Call
Yes,
me.
call Charles, please.
Email.
Please.
I will help you.
And you need it.
Yes.
No offense.
Yes, you do need it.
But you do kind
I
of
will
need.
help you.
At the very least, you should have him for writing, but at the very least,
Consult.
let him do some research and consulting.
Yeah, let me be a consultant. I will help you.
Oh, yeah. Craziness. Okay, so
Yes.
the last thing was the non-stop
Right. Chris Vance.
attack. Right.
Chris.
He is crazy good in this, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Attacking Maxwell Lord. Now, Ostra was pulled in to the DEO as a distraction so that he and his team,
Right.
not all Kryptonians,
Right. So,
and I wanted to know, do you know who those other two were? The one who breathes the green stuff and the guy who...
I think that was just generic alien.
I wanted to know if you had any idea.
I don't think there was, as far as I know, is just generic alien.
Right. And they're not specific enough for me to look up.
Right. They didn't say any character. They didn't say any character names, or there wasn't any obvious reference to.
Okay, good. So now I don't feel like I'm a slouch or anything. Okay. So him and his team break in with their kryptonite shield things, so that can't be harmed, into Maxwell Lord's
Lord Technologies.
Right? Technologies, and we don't know why, but they've broken in and they're doing something. They're up to shenanigans.
Now, apparently, though, Maxwell Lord developed an anti-Kryptonian weapon.
Yeah, sort of weird.
So are they there for the weapon? So that he can't use that on them?
The DEO has a gun that stops them, and then he has a gun that throws silly putty on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, but they managed to get around it.
Silly putty gun. Yeah.
They got around both of them fairly quickly. So I highly doubt it was because of that, but there has to be something there.
Right. Something that Maxwell Lord isn't talking about.
Something maybe having to do with their terraforming ability.
Could be.
Yeah. That's my thing. And then they're surprised to find out that Hank Henshaw is not who he seems to be.
Yes. And Jean kills a guy.
Yep, he does. And we're left hanging.
He's the Martian man killer.
At the end of the fight, not knowing what is happening there.
Right.
And then, is it before the fight that we get the reveal with Kat?
After the fight.
It's after the fight.
Well, it's after the fight, but before. No, it's before Kara shows up. Like.
Okay. The fight is still going on, but Kara runs to go to the fight.
Yeah, I think it's before Jean kills the guy.
Okay, so the fight is going on at Lord Technologies, and then
Kara gets Meanwhile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
on Kat's balcony.
Right, Kara.
Yeah.
Not as Supergirl is talking to Kat on the balcony, which is telling, by the way, because they've always had conversations as Supergirl and Kat on the balcony. And Kat has deduced all these things about Kara, that this, and this, and she's put some things together, and boom, take off your glasses, Kara. And Kara's stammering, and she doesn't know what to do, and Kat's not backing down.
Nope.
Take off your glasses, Kara. Kira. She calls her Kira.
You think she'd call her Kara?
She knows her name is Kara, by the way.
You'd still think, okay, I just outed you as Supergirl. Okay, I guess I'll call you by your real name now.
Right. And she finally does take off her glasses and confirms she's Supergirl.
Right.
I think she's going to be an ally.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to help her. And this can only be good, in my opinion, because if something were to happen that would be detrimental to her in the press, Kat can help her with that.
Cover for her.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, isn't that going to make it really awkward, though, when Kat goes to Kara and asks her to bring her coffee. Like, hey, Supergirl, go get me some
I
coffee.
don't think so.
Give me some coffee.
Honestly, I don't think so. She thinks of Kira as Kira
Yeah, but
at work. I think they're going to have a chat.
I would think that would change the dynamic a little bit.
Maybe. We'll find out when they come back.
Or you would think that now that she knows, Kara would be like, get your own damn coffee.
Yeah, but she's not going to.
No, I know that.
No, I know you do. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's not how she is. But
No.
there's going to be a chat that comes, and I feel like that she's going to tell her that she's always wanted to be normal, and she wants to keep her job, and she wants to go on the way that she is. She doesn't want to be treated any different.
Right.
And so Kat is going to definitely just continue to squash her under her boot heels at work.
Yes.
Now
let's just hope that Kat doesn't spend a lot of time with Maxwell Lord.
Right.
Because that could be problematic.
It could be very problematic. Very much so.
So it means it'll probably happen.
Mm-hmm.
One would think.
Yeah.
One would think.
Well, but Maxwell Lord is...
Because, Maxwell's a big shot, Kat's a big shot.
And we know they've had a relationship in the past.
That's true. Good point. I forgot about that.
So there's that. And then, of course, she hears the distress call and off she goes. And Jean is in trouble and Alex is in trouble. And she rushes to save Alex. And
here I come to save the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And blam.
Yeah.
This is where we hang the cliff, as it were.
Yeah, they scream at each other.
Yep.
Like, and they cut to Kara, and then cut to Nan,
right.
And then fade to black.
And this is her uncle, right?
Yeah, this would be her uncle because
by marriage.
We didn't talk about this, but they reveal in this episode that Nan and Astra are married.
Right.
Even though apparently Nan is her subordinate.
Sure. But I have a feeling that he doesn't see it that way.
Not yet, because he's probably ambitious.
Yeah.
So maybe he's waiting for Astra to fail and then he can take over.
Mm-hmm. He's been hinting at that.
Yeah.
You have not brought her on board yet.
Yeah.
Like you said you have. I mean, he's really been talking about
Although
it.
I do kind of miss the mute Cro-Magnon Nan from Superman 2.
Mm-hmm, me too.
This one's just a little too chatty for my liking.
He is a little.
But
so she and her uncle are going to go head to head, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Ouchie.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. Might need some back
Those
pain.
family reunions are going to be a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's going to be an awkward family reunion.
Yeah. So, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. No, we talked about that. We did. Let's see. There was that bit where Alex and Kara were sparring, and then Kara hesitates during the fight, and then Alex is like, "Ask Kara, are you ready to kill?"
Mm-hmm.
And Kara shoots back, "Well, Superman doesn't kill."
Mm-hmm.
Which correct. Superman doesn't kill. Alex says though that that's not going to work because Astra.
Right.
So I just think
but you can't stoop to that level, right? Or else you're just as bad as they are.
So
Isn't that what?
Yeah. So I think that will factor in later.
Yeah. That she might have to kill someone and she backs out at the last minute.
That's pretty much. That's all I got.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a guilt trip happening.
I would say so.
Yeah. And by the way, what is the deal with the Flash killing someone? I'm very upset about all this.
Oh, we got to be edgy.
He can only kill Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Thanks a lot. Yeah, we know.
Okay, so what is your grade?
It's all Oliver Queen's fault. Let's put it that way.
It is.
He started something.
He did.
I give this one. I thought this was good, but again, I can only give it 8 out of 10 kryptonite cannons.
Okay, and If only for the fact that Kat figured this out,
Yeah,
which I thought was good because she really should have figured it out.
right.
8.5 Anderson Cooper dares.
Nice.
I loved The Mole, is all I can say.
Okay.
Did you ever watch The Mole?
No.
It was a reality show that he hosted.
Yeah.
Fantastic. You should track it down.
Okay.
Really good. Yeah, so that's it for this week. That's crazy.
Oh,
I like.
What is this? Like 2 shows and we're done? What's up with that?
I know, right? But we got to talk in detail about them, which is good.
Yeah, it is good. It's like, breathing room at last.
Now we do have a piece of feedback. Let me go in here.
Okay.
From Justina.
Oh, awesome. Go ahead.
Hi, Karen and Charles. I loved Supergirl. I give it 9 out of 10 ice buckets of M&Ms. If anyone would have told me that I would like Cat Grant, I would have argued. But I do like her character now and how she has developed. I am pondering what it will be like now that she has figured out Kara's identity. Astra is a conundrum. I thought she was bad, but considering she made me tear up in this episode, I am reconsidering my position and will ponder it over the break.
Don't fall for it.
No, don't fall for it.
Don't fall
Justina.
for it.
Yeah. This was a great hiatus-inducing episode. See, Karen, I didn't use the F word. She means finale, not
okay.
not the other F word.
was-
Jessica Jones.
I was going to say, Justina getting a little bold there.
No, she knows I hate the winter finale thing.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones is really good. I still think I like it better than Daredevil. Oh no, do you think Kilgrave is making me like the show? And she put the face in. A very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.
Aw.
Justina.
And to you, Justina.
Yep, same. Right back at ya.
Yep. So,
Thank you, Justina.
so what are we going to do next week? Because we have no Supergirl now because that's on mid-season finale hiatus. So all we have is
Don't
Jessica Jones.
That word.
Yeah.
They're only gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, still.
Be back in January.
Okay, so for 2 weeks, what do we do?
We are going to do 2 episodes of Jessica Jones next week.
Yeah, because we're going to have a lot of shows later on. So what better way to...
Let's burn through them.
well, we're not really... I mean, you don't want to burn through Jessica Jones, but it's actually a good time we can actually talk about this. And it'd be good to have 2 episodes back to back because since this season is like one big show, chopped up into 13 episodes, really.
Right.
So it'll work. I think it'll work pretty good. So we're gonna do episodes 5 and 6.
Right.
For those of you keeping up.
That's right. So it'll be. Oh goodness, I don't have a list up.
That's okay. Just know it's Jessica Jones 5 and 6.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Jessica Jones 5 and 6 next is what we're going to talk about since there are no broadcast shows on.
It's Christmas. You should take it easy anyway. So
there you go. That's right.
It's a holiday season.
And I want to watch them anyway, so
yeah.
I'm gonna.
So there you go. You can get through this a little quicker.
I'm gonna do the grabby hands.
Gimme.
So, and speaking of Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas.
Sweet Christmas.
I wanted to play it at least once.
Yeah.
And if you would like to send us feedback, our feedback information is Twitter.
Right.
We are at Fandom Zonecast. And on Facebook, we are facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast. And our email is fandomzonecast@gmail.com.
Awesome.
And where can they reach you, Charles?
The usual places. At Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine. I do that just for you.
Yay.
And at Charles Skaggs on the Instagram, the Insta. And
I do not have the Instagrams.
yes.
I don't take pictures.
Yeah, well, if you did, I don't take that many yet, but when I do, they're up there. Let's see, Google Plus for all you crazy kids in the Google Plus.
On the Google Plus.
And my blog geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot. Oh, I forgot about the Facebook and the Facebook too. So Charles Skaggs.
Charles Skaggs.
So yeah, but check out Damn Good Coffee and Hot where I talk about lots of stuff and relating.
And someone's going to be posting a review of a certain movie.
Yeah, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So I gotta get that done. So yeah, I've seen the movie twice already, but I know Karen's looking at me like with the laser eyes.
Yeah.
Pew pew pew.
Yep. I haven't seen it yet,
So
but I'm going.
but I'm not going to spoil it for her. So
I don't go on the weekends ever.
But I will warn everybody that when I do post my review, it's going to be very spoiler heavy. But but there will be a warning at the beginning. So if you haven't seen the movie, just be prepared that I will blab everything about it. So heads up.
I'll you enter here.
Because reviews with spoilers are way more interesting than ones without spoilers.
Of course, you have to do spoilers.
Yes, so
you can't be all cagey about it.
Especially this movie.
Okay, cool.
So,
well, I'm gonna go see it this weekend, and then I shall read.
So yeah, go see it, and then once you've seen it, then you could read my review. How's that?
Right.
All right.
Most everyone has seen it already, I think. We don't go on the weekend.
They're talking about like an opening weekend of 270 million.
Yeah. Well, it's already made most of that.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's day 3, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there today, and it's already huge. So it's lines down the block.
Yep.
So anyway.
Yeah. Well, my husband's weekday is Wednesday and Thursday. Weekend, sorry, is Wednesday and Thursday. So that's when we'll go, is Wednesday most likely.
And a big quick reminder that our Fandom Zone podcast t-shirt, the officially official shirt, is up on TeePublic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And there's a link that is stuck to the top of our Facebook.
Yep. So what better way to start off 2016 than with a new spiffy Fandom Zone podcast t-shirt?
That's right. I should get myself one. I really should.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. You
didn't watch Parks and Rec. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't watch Parks and Rec.
They used to have a day. Donna and Tom used to have a day every year where they would treat themselves, and it was called "Treat Yourself." That's what they would say.
Okay.
Treat yourself to 7-Eleven, and then they would go and shop, and
that's good.
It was awesome.
So yeah,
treat yourself.
Do that.
Yeah.
All right. So
all right. So that's everything.
I know it feels weird to be done like this way.
10 minutes early.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it.
Well, so watch your Jessica Jones. Yeah. Pew.
Yep.
Pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
And we'll see you next week on the Fandom Zone podcast.
That's right. We'll talk to you next week, guys.
Bye, everyone.